Welcome to the Mindset by Design podcast with your host, the expert Andy Murphy, where you will learn the tips, tricks, and strategies he teaches his world-class clients to give you the skills to dominate any business.
What's going on, Mindset by Design crew, and welcome to episode, this is a clip show. So it's not really a true episode. You can grab the full episodes always, every single week, and you can jump into those. But what we're going to do each week also in this regular feature is this could be clips of the previous episode. It could be lives I've done on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. It could be private sessions. It could be just awesome stuff. Now remember, what we're all about here at Mindset by Design is about building new behaviors, new ways of thinking, feeling, and acting using NLP, which I'm a world-class expert at, concepts and the understanding of neuroscience, and also behavioral psychology, influence, persuasion, peak performance, all of those things combined together to be able to retrain your conscious, unconscious mind and really change the brain, the nervous system to make you superhuman. That's it, right? Have you ever seen that movie Limitless? Right. What my job is to give you the tools and tactics to be able to, live a limitless life, have a limitless brain, and create the life and freedom that you truly want. I've done this for 20 years all over the world, and I've done it with people from Saudi Arabian royalty to Fortune 500 CEOs, people doing IPO, world champions, digital superstars, right? People that you know all over the internet. We've got NBC winners, Hollywood producers and actors. I can go on and on, But the idea is here to help you. We've been doing this for a long, long time, and we're just getting started. So today, this is a clip show, so enjoy, and I will see you at the end of the show. Oh, just before you jump into the show, make sure that you're hitting the show notes, because we've got constant awesome courses, live events, free things, awesome things to be able to make you really perform at your absolute best and create the life that you deserve. So make sure you hit those show notes up or head over right now to andymurphy.online. andymurphy.online. So enjoy, and I will see you at the end of the show. Okay, crew, let me jump in there. I love it, right? Because David just talks about everything I'm talking about. I set you up, right? Explaining neuro-linguistic programming, language, and the structure of the brain, right? But he's so disciplined, and this is what I love about a high performer, right? They're so disciplined, they won't even allow that word to be said or come into their head, because if it does, that word is connected to an emotion. That emotion is connected to an image or a movie inside of their head, and it's connected to then a focus. That focus is connected to a response or a reaction, right? So if you're not building the pattern, then guess what can't really happen? Yeah, it can't really happen. So what he's been able to do is train his brain to focus on energy, focus on sleep, focus on moving forwards, right? Because something they teach you in the military, not that I've been in the military, but I've worked with Special Force Commandos, right? So what they teach you is it doesn't matter if you can't sleep, you rest your body, but you're gonna get up and you're gonna go and do conditioning and you're gonna go to work, right? So what does that mean? Is that just a mindset? Is that just a way of seeing the world? Or is it a physical thing? Or is your physical thing affected by your mindset? Does that make sense? So we're talking about neurobiology there, right? Neurobiology actually means that you can heal your cells or your nervous system or an illness through the way that you think. Now, obviously, there is a massive amount of science behind that, and it depends on the level of your belief, and it also depends on a lot of stuff. But for example, my mom, she was a nurse on a cardiac ward. She was actually the run the ward for like 20 years. And cardiac care, right? So what's that mean? That means heart attack. That means things like that. And she said she could tell who was going to make it through after a heart attack or not because of the words that they said. Their focus, their belief. And if their focus was on, oh, I am sick, then, and everything's going wrong and this is the disaster, she said often they would relapse or they wouldn't make it, majority of the time. But the people who focused on, I'm getting better, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to be on top of this, I'm going to get better, I see the future big and bright, I'm grateful for my life, what would happen? You got it, right? Everything would change and they would heal. So why would you think that would be any difference in business? Performance, sales, money, success, happiness, family, right? What would you think that would be any difference between closing that next deal or pushing through to the next stage of your business or scaling or hiring somebody, right? Or hiring somebody. I'm about to hire a team tomorrow, right? And I've been checking them out for a couple of months, right? And I'm ready, right? They're ready, so I'm going to hire them tomorrow. And I'm going to make sure I'm staying on top of it. I'm not just going to allow this team, this strategy to be run by them. No, I'm going to not micromanage, but I'm going to be on top of them. And that's the level of responsibility that you need on your shoulders, brain, tongue, whatever you want to say, right? So what Pat's saying here is, I called him David before, didn't I? Yeah, Patrick, David, right? You get where I'm going. Maybe it's because people call me Murphy, right? Or Murph. So there you go, Andy Murphy, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. So because of that, he understands, he's trained his brain that way. So, and he's taken that level of responsibility. So my question for you is, are you taking the level of responsibility for your language, who you are, and your actions every single day right now? Only you know.
It's so manipulative today. Everything's about dividing today. You know, when you run a Dana White pits his guys against each other. For what? Exposure, competition, bigger payday, people make more money, right? Okay. ESPN, Cleveland, Lakers, Bulls, all these guys. Why? Because it's results, competition, it's great. There's nothing wrong with competition in sports. There's nothing wrong with competition in business. There's nothing wrong with competition in those types of areas. There's a lot of problems with competition in politics. You know why? Because it's mindsets being injected. It's manipulation being injected. And many people are buying it. Long time ago, I refused to buy a lot of different mindsets being imposed to me, both from my mom's side and my dad's side. I had people on my dad's side that would say, you know how women are. They're all the same. They're all the same. They're all the same. You know how they're. I said, stop telling me. I don't want to hear that. Why not? I don't want to hear that. I said, because one day I want to get married and have a family. I don't want to believe that. Don't say it around me. Why are you getting so upset? Because I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Not around me. I don't want to hear it. On the other side. Let me tell you how these types of people are. Stop telling me how rich people are. I judge everybody based on how they are. I don't judge them by their wealth. I know poor people who treat me royally. And I know poor people that treat me like shit. I know rich people that treat me with respect, and I know rich people that don't. Dollar sign never made a difference as the character of the individual. Stop putting that stuff in my mind. I don't want to hear it. I was 21 years old saying these things. I was in the army. Couple of guys telling me you'll never be rich. I don't want to hear it. Say it to somebody else. I worked at Bally's. A guy named Jose was one of my boss. Why are you reading all these books? I can tell you exactly what book I was reading at that time, what author I was reading. I was 21 years old. You're wasting time reading these books. You're never going to be a millionaire. I said, you can say it to yourself, don't ever say that to me again. I stopped those thoughts. I don't want it to enter this mind. I don't want to do it. You remember the scene, Pursuit of Happiness? You know that famous scene? I interviewed a real guy, Chris Gardner. I introduced him at an event back in 07, 08. There's a scene where he says, don't let anybody change your mind, not including myself, your father. I don't want to do that. The other day, as a father, I made a mistake next to my son. Talking to this couple, and we're talking about a third baby. They're considering a third baby. My son is next to me. I said, kids are so annoying sometimes. I said it in front of him. My son went under the table. He wouldn't come up for 20 minutes. My heart, my soul was crushed. I didn't like that. All day I thought about it. I went home. I went to my son. I said, we're leaving. My wife's like, is he in trouble? I said, he's not in trouble. Daddy's in trouble. I said, we're leaving right now. We're leaving. He says, where are we going? I said, I got to tell you something. He says, is everything good? I said, believe me, everything's good, but we got to go. I took him in the car. We drove. I pulled over. I said, I want you to look at me. I said, this is a kid with a lot of pride. Very proud kid, and I love this kid. Very special kid. I said to him, I said, I said something today, and I noticed you didn't like it. He said, yes. I said, I want you to know something. He says, what's that? I said, I need you to look at me in my eyes. He says, look at me in my eyes. I said, you know what was the greatest day of my life? What? The day you were born. Greatest day of my life. Obviously, you have two other siblings. Those were also incredible days for me. But up until that point, the greatest day of my life was when you were born. I said, I took you, you stayed at the hospital, you had jaundice. We'd come in, we'd watch the light. Your skin was yellow. When you came home after 5 nights, I put you on my lap. We watched the Super Bowl. That's when you came home. You were born February 1st of 2012. I was the happiest man alive because I named my son Patrick Gabriel Ben David. Patrick is my name. Gabriel's your grandfather's name. Two people that's going to inject the spirit into you. And Bet David is the house of David. Beta, a Syrian last name. Bet David. I said, you fulfilled me because God gave me the greatest gift ever, was my first son. So let me tell you, I've watched you since the day you were born. You've always been very independent. You've always demanded respect. And what I said today was not a responsible statement by your dad. I want you to tell me, I want to explain to you what I mean by this so you understand this part. He says, what's that? I said, here's what I mean by annoying. I said, sometimes is your daddy annoying? Yes. I said, do I sometimes push you too hard? Yes. Do I sometimes challenge you? Yes. Do we have a lot of fun together? Yes. Do you like to wrestle with me? Yes. When I come, do you like to jump on my back? Yes. I said, do you know I love you? Yes. Do you know I love you a lot? Absolutely. I said, great. But I sometimes annoy you, no? Yeah. And sometimes you guys do as well. I didn't mean it in a way for you not know that I don't love you. You need to understand that part. I wanted to give you my interpretation of the word annoying. You need to know. You being born changed my life. Do you understand me? Yes, Daddy loves you. Great.
Let me jump in there, crew. Now, there's not too many dads who do that, right? Imagine that. We'd all be healed if you had a father like that. But do you know what? He understands how powerful words are. Words can burn. Especially when you're a kid and you're looking at somebody who you idolize. You're looking at they're your role model. That is God to you. That person can do no wrong. That person has influenced you. You look up to them, right? And we've all got memories, good and bad, of when our childhood of people who say certain things to us that we absolutely loved and respected. And people are still healing from traumas, like the whole life from things that were said. Now, understand, Patrick knew that was going to cause damage. He knew that, right? Because he responded the correct way, because he related it to what was being said to him when he was a kid. Okay, crew, there we go. The end of another clip show. I really hope you enjoyed it. You got lots of good stuff from it. And again, if you want to go back and check the previous episode, well, it's waiting for you there. And speaking of waiting for you there, you've got to make a decision. That's how much do you want the next stage of your life? Do you want to have that limitless brain? Do you want to be like a Jedi? Do you want to be part superhuman? Do you want to take your business life to a whole new level with influence, persuasion, peak performance, and neuroconditioning? Well, I'm sure you do. This is how we scale businesses from 5, 6, 7, 8 figures plus. This is how I've worked with the top people in the world, and I just want to share some of their secret strategies with you. So the next thing you need to do, very simple, nice and easy, just simply go to the links. That's it. Hit the show notes up, see what's available for you today, and also make sure that you're heading over to andymurphy.online. Why? Because we got articles, we got videos, we got content all for you sitting right there, and so many options to help you get to that next stage, to win, finally win, or take your business and life to a whole different level. Sound good? Awesome, that's waiting for you there, and make sure that you're finding me on social media. It's very easy. It's Andy Murphy Mindset. Type that in, you got me. Or Andy Murphy NLP, Andy Murphy Mindset. Either way, you can find me all over social. Make sure that you're connecting, make sure that you're hanging out, and make sure that you're writing me an awesome review somewhere. Spotify, Apple, or any other platform. I love you for it. They love me for it, and it means I can keep pumping out this awesome content. Okay, do that right now, and until the next time, much love. Have an amazing week, and oh yeah, one more thing. Why don't you smile for me and keep kicking ass?
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy. We'll catch you next time.